I just want to share with you today just a story for fun. It's an Easter story. Now, before I get started, have you ever heard the saying, last one in's a rotten egg? So, like if you're at the swimming pool or something and everybody's going towards the water and they say, last one in's a rotten egg, it's just something fun that people say. Well, in this story today, you're going to find out that maybe the last one in is not the rotten egg. This story is called Last One In is a Rotten Egg, and it's by Diane DeGroot. Looks like they're having an egg hunt, doesn't it? And here we see a car pulling up, and it looks like we have some anxious people waiting in the window. Gilbert and Lola were excited. Their cousin Wally was coming. They hadn't seen him in a long time, and they were looking forward to his visit. He's here, Lola shouted from the window. The door burst open and Wally tumbled in. Last one in is a rotten egg, he yelled. Uncle Gus appeared in the door behind him. Hello, all, he said, picking up the umbrella stand that Wally had knocked over. Wally was much bigger than Gilbert remembered. He was almost as tall as Uncle Gus. You're just in time for lunch, Mother said. I made soup and sandwiches. Last one in is a rotten egg, Wally shouted, running to the table. Gilbert walked quickly to his seat. Lola walked quickly too. They didn't want to be the rotten eggs. Mother didn't care if she was the rotten egg. She carefully served the soup before sitting down. She said to Wally, You'll have fun this afternoon. There's an Easter egg hunt in the park. That sounds like fun, doesn't it? Wally made a face and said, Egg hunts are for babies. But Gilbert wanted his friends to meet Wally. There's a prize if you find the most eggs, he said cheerfully. And there's a prize if you find the golden egg, Lola added. I'm going to look really hard and find it. I'll go, said Wally, but I still think it's stupid. Then he stuffed the last of his peanut butter sandwich into his mouth, saying, Last one fifth of a rotten egg. At the park, Wally didn't want to stay with Gilbert and his friends. He took a basket and headed to the start line. Your cousin's not very friendly, Patty said. He just wants to win, Gilbert answered. Gilbert wanted to win too, so when the whistle blew, he ran after Wally calling, Last one up the hill is a rotten egg. Now, remember how Wally first talked about the egg hunt? Yeah, he said he didn't want to go, didn't he? And now he seems like that maybe he's going to be pretty competitive. They raced in all directions, looking under bushes and behind trees. I found one, Gilbert shouted from the bushes. I found two, Wally yelled from behind a tree. Patty and Lola searched the tall grass. I can't find any eggs, Lola whined. Look, said Patty, there's one right by your foot. I found one, Lola cried, and she proudly put the green plastic egg into her basket. Gilbert and Wally ran over to see if more eggs were hiding in the tall grass. Gilbert was anxious to find more because Wally's basket was almost full. But Lola's basket was almost empty. Gilbert sighed and gave Lola some eggs from his own basket. Thanks, she said. Let's find more. And together they ran toward a patch of trees. Now, was that nice of Gilbert to give his little sister some eggs? I think so too. I think he's a pretty nice big brother. Suddenly, Lola stopped running and shouted, I see it! I see the golden egg up in that tree. She stood on her toes, but she couldn't reach it. Neither could Gilbert. They needed someone tall. He called to Wally, Lola found the golden egg, but we can't get it. I'm wondering, what do you think Wally's going to do when he comes over and helps get that egg down? Is he going to give it to Lola? Let's find out. Wally said, "No problem." He stood on his toes and stretched higher and higher. "I got it," he shouted. "Yay, Wally," Gilbert said. And Wally dropped the egg into his basket and walked off. "Hey," Gilbert called to Wally, "no fair. Lola found that egg." "But I'm the one who picked it up," Wally said. Lola cried, "I'm telling." But Wally just added, "Tattletale." Now, did he do the right thing? I don't think so either. The whistle blew. The hunt was over, and everyone headed back to the starting line. Wally had more eggs in his basket than anyone else. He also had the golden egg. Wally said, "I like egg hunts. Let's go see what the prizes are." Gilbert had an idea. "You're right," he said. "Let's go see." And then he shouted, "Last one down is a rotten egg." Now remember, they have to go all the way back down that hill. Why do you think Gilbert decided to get him to race them? Have you ever ran down a hill? Is it hard to stay steady? If you had a basket full of eggs, would it be hard to keep those eggs in the basket? Wally took off and ran down the hill. "I win," he said. When he looked back, Gilbert and Lola were still at the top, picking up all the eggs that had fallen out of Wally's basket, including the golden one. "Oops," said Wally when he saw his empty basket. Now, he kind of got what he deserved, didn't he? How do you think Lola and Gilbert are going to handle this when they get to the bottom of the hill? For finding the golden egg, Lola won a beautiful sugar egg with a seed inside. For finding the most eggs, Gilbert won an Easter basket filled with chocolate eggs, cream eggs, and his favorite marshmallow eggs. But Gilbert didn't feel right about taking the basket. He walked over to Wally and said, "You really found the most eggs, not me. You should have the prize." Wally turned red. "Maybe we could share it," he said. And they did. I'd say that was pretty nice of Gilbert, and I think maybe Wally learned his lesson. And here, if you look inside the sugar egg that Lola won, there's a little picture there that says, "Happy Easter." Did you enjoy that book? I know I did. See you later.